kind of moving things along, because I think we're kind of close to our midway point, is I want to kind of, anybody have anything else? I'm sorry, I want to make sure that everyone got the beginning.
There's always something else, but
yeah,
I'm going to be mindful.
Okay, so we all got our beginning out of the way, which is
Well, I just want to mention
Pennsylvania,
one person.
North Carolina. Go ahead.
So that if she gets to hear all this, I'm sure most of you probably know, after our children were gone and whatnot, we became what they call therapeutic foster parents.
Mm-hmm.
And the agency, was constantly talking to me, and then finally I just said one day, yeah, I think I'll do it. And to make a long story short, after the many years, 10, 12 years of doing it, then they started to ask me, Miss Holtz, what is it that you do with these kids? Because we bring these kids in from foster care, and and the thing is, especially the ones that have been in 3 and 4 different homes, and they couldn't stay, and then they called me and told me they had this very crazy girl that they were going to see if she could come. Well, guess what? She came. And you know what she ended up doing? She came. She got out of high school. She ended up getting accepted to Penn State University. She graduated from Penn State University. And she was supposed to be nuts. But like I told them, you have to listen to these kids when you think they're nuts. Because sooner or later, they're going to start to give you some insight as to what is really going on. And I can tell you now, I don't have to worry about where she is, but she'll be on the phone, talking and whatnot. And I'm like, but didn't the foster parents that had these kids see that these kids needed something else? And they used to say, but they get there and then they say, oh, you know what we do? Oh, you know what we do? And I said, well, I'm trying to understand something about the agency. Is the purpose to bring them to live with you? Then the purpose every time you got to do something that you want to do, that you got to send them to somebody else because you don't want them with you? I told them I can't function like that, because if they're with me, then unless there's something else, then they're going with me.
Well,
that's just the right thing to do.
It's the one word that stands out is care.
That's the word.
It's a very short, simple word, but it's care.
It is care.
I remember growing up, because my sister's not here, Cecilia. She had a bunch of them. They were Care Bears.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't make. To me, I just thought they were dumb, and back then, I just threw them around like footballs. But it was like, the one would have, this and the care this way, another one cared that way, another one cared that way. So the bottom line is, I think, caring is the starting point. You have to care, and then that will set the tone for your actions and behaviors moving forward.
I'd want to jump in for a minute when you talk about care, and I'm generally quiet on that subject area, and that's an era in our lives where we were foster care parents to very troubled children, and it's painful to see the condition these children were in, and they were re-traumatized. They were, first of all, they were removed from homes of trauma, put in foster care homes that continued that trauma pattern. So we saw many of the kids coming to us, they were ready for war.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to enter into their experience, or you would go to war with them.
Right.
And you use a good word, they care.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready for care, you're not ready for that industry.
Right. And